Hi, welcome. I want to do a very important video to share with you the whole ideology behind how we build spiking. And that is the really same philosophy of addressing the information asymmetry that exists between institutional investors versus the retail traders. So how do we go about closing this gap is what I'm going to present to you right now. So first of all, let's go into the spiking wealth management system. And we observe a really important phenomena that's taking place in the stock market. We're going to take a look right here in this column. This is called a daily spiking up and down, and that represents the liquidity of the US stock market. Every single day, there are stocks spiking up between 5 to 100%. Now, I mean, you are talking about per day basis. And the whole idea is, hey, if we can catch these spikes before it happened, then jolly well we are making between 5 to 100% profit return in just one day. But what if we didn't catch the spike? Then it's really no different from how we go about doing our long-term investing. So based on this basic introduction, the start off, you're looking at really combining long-term investing versus short-term trading, and we try to get the best hybrid of both of them. So let's go back to our very beginning of the thesis. How do we catch the spike before it happens? And we, as the team of engineers, we say there are three ways to go about solving this. Now, these three approaches is really difficult to crack what we call the holy grail in the market. So first off, I want to bring you to this portion here called Learn, and we go to Investors Top 100, all right? The first thing that we really need to do is to identify what do the money managers or the institutional investors do on Wall Street on a live trading basis. I mean, let me explain to you the concept of live trading basis, all right? So here, what we've done is we kind of categorize into 8 different categories of every single money manager on Wall Street. We start off with the top 100, which is a curated list of what we believe is the best, they are the best money managers on earth. Then we have the universe that comprises of BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, FMR, and so on. And then we have the sovereign wealth funds representing different countries. Then we have the US pension, retirement funds, C-suite that includes board of directors, management team, politicians, which basically they are always leading the pack, trading on a thin red line of insider trading. And of course, any personalities that appear on CNBC, we want to know what stocks do they own, and that we present to you 8 categories of investors. Now let me show you first of all, in our top 100, these are really renowned names. We have based on AUM size, asset under management. Number 1, we have Warren Buffett, Kenneth Fisher, Nick Schomer, and from Kenneth Griffin from Citadel. All right, all these are kind of arranged in descending order of the best traders on earth. This is our curated proprietary list that Spiking came up with. But I'm going to demonstrate to you, and these are really famous names, how we go about opening up the black box. Now, the concept of black box is like, you know, everybody want to hold on to their proprietary secret. They call it their witchcraft, their black magic, or whatever they want to call it, right? But our job is to really go out there to the marketplace and strip them naked. And we are able to reverse engineer the really thinking behind their investment thesis. When do they put money into a particular stock? When do they double down? When do they liquidate, get out? And when do they come back in with a vengeance? And I'm going to demonstrate to you using Warren Buffett as the key example, right? So let me switch back right here. This is still on our top 100, and we have Warren Buffett number 1 on the list. So over here, and we have built out, you know, a copy trading button right here and ready to plug into any brokerage house that you're using today. And let me click on Warren Buffett right here. And after clicking on it, you're going to see his entire portfolio, right? Right over here, his AUM size is $356 billion. We scroll down, there are some metrics about him. And then I want to bring you right over to here. He deployed his money across 49 different stocks holdings. And number one on his portfolio is none other than Apple. But mind you, this Apple itself stands about 50% of his entire portfolio, his wealth. So the whole idea about diversification really doesn't really stand. If you look at what Warren Buffett is doing, half of his net worth, entered into Apple. Now, of course, there are really other companies that he's famously aligned with. And today, for our demonstration, we're going to look at this company called Occidental. He has been actively trading on it. And today, he's still trading on it. That's the reason why I want to pick this guy out and to show you how we go about opening up the black box, right? So I'm going to come over here, tap on Occidental Petroleum, and you open up the next page. And we're going to scroll down right here. This is our little black box where we unveil the secret. So let me start off with Q3 2019. Q3 2019, and here we go. You'll be able to see under the total shares owned column that he bought into 7.5 million number of shares, new shares, and you see the word new, right? This is important. That's the first virgin trade that Warren Buffett entered into. But what is really important to us is what happens after Q3, right? So I'm going to kind of move up my red box to reflect the next quarter, Q4. Hey, he actually increased by 153% in his bet. Now, this is current quarter versus previous quarter. And we need to know the momentum, how money managers go about doubling down, quadrupling down, or show hand. And what is their thesis? Why do they increase the bet, right? So this Q4 2019, 18.9 million number of shares. And then we move on to Q1 2020. And as you know, that's the start of the outbreak of the coronavirus. No change in his shareholding, 18.9 million number of shares. But what is interesting is the very next quarter, April to June 2020, he sold everything off. He dumped the stock. There you go. There's no such thing as buy, hold, and don't sell forever. Not for Warren Buffett, all right? So when we go behind the scenes and really look at the data, this is transparent to us. That's the reason why we want to build this stripping naked the black box. So right now, I'm going to ask you to focus on this column called the total shares owned. What happens after he sold off everything and the last ownership he owned, 18.9 million number of shares, right? And we start to move up, nothing happened. And holy moly, on 4th of March, right there, he came back with a vengeance. Right now, 91.2 million number of shares. Holy moly, what happened? And this is like, I call it the live data because when we present in the blue box, it means anomaly. It doesn't follow the quarterly filings anymore. So we really have to track across all spectrum, whatever is able to tell us about Warren Buffett. You got it. We got the data right here. And 4th of March 2022 is really significant because this is exactly 1 week after Russia invaded Ukraine. That took place on 24th February 2022. He went in with 91.2 and he didn't stop. He started increasing. He kept buying. And all these are really important trades. And he kept buying every single week until the latest count, 28th of June last month. Right now he's standing at 224 million number of shares of Occidental. So what I've done is this. I demonstrated to you we have the ability to open up the black box for every single stock out there invested by every single money manager, regardless. We will strip it naked. We're going to show you exactly how they go about trading, how they go about entering, exiting, double down, and so on. That's exactly what we do right here at Spiking. So go back to original thesis. We say that, hey, how do we catch 5 to 100% spike in one day? And if we can enter to catch the spike, we are able to reap this kind of profits, right? If we don't happen to reap this kind of profits, it's no different from how most of us out there are doing our long-term investing. So, step one, we kind of cracked the code. Today we're able to track every money manager on Wall Street. Because the really key objective is how to catch the spike, right? So now we're going to enter into step two to operationalize this really hidden gem of data, bountiful gem of data that we have, and operationalize it to fulfill what we want to achieve. So I'm going to switch back the screen right now and bring you to the next level. We call it trade. And I'm going to trade your AI stocks. I'm going to click on Daily Bread. And this is the know-how, the thinking behind how do we go about catching the spike. Again, we break down the time frame into 8 different time frames to suit all classes of investors out there, starting from Daily Bread one day. Literally, you live up to the name Daily Bread, and you got to feed yourself every single day. Buy today, sell tomorrow, make money. Resurrection is a 1-month time frame, and that's really banking on FDA stocks, clinical trials announcement. 1 quarter is our triangulation. This is the best stocks for every quarter because it is heavily invested by the money managers on Wall Street. And then we have 1 year good, greatest of all time, followed by 4 years, 1 election cycle of a stock buyback, followed by 10 years, 1 decade on $1 trillion market cap. And I mean, we were tracking this, and Nvidia, boom, crashed across 1 trillion market cap. And Apple, boom, crashed across 3 trillion market cap. That's the reason why the market cap is so important, those companies that are nearing the $1 trillion market cap. And then we have 1 lifetime, you only live once, YOLO, as well as 3 generations, yourself, your children, and your grandchildren. We call it GRID. All right? So those are the 8 time frames that most investors are trading on. And then we're going to demonstrate to you right now how we're going to catch the spike. So here we go. Starting point, we always feature, every quarter, the 10 most investor stocks in Daily Bread. These are your 10 most investor stocks, as well as the past 5 trading days. The money is really moving into which particular stock. So let me scroll down right here. We're going to look at Daily Bread, and I'm going to show you just what happened very, very recently on a Monday. And on a Monday, that's on 17th of July, I click apply. And what the system will tell us is this: every single day, which companies are going to announce earnings. So on 17th, which is July, we have exactly 17 companies announcing earnings, all right? These are your 17 companies. Now, how are we going to manipulate the data to find the hidden gem? There's a few ways to do it. Like, for example, right here by default, we always arrange the data based on net stock purchase. So number 1 is $2.6 billion. Number 2 is $1.9 billion. So what is exactly the concept of the universe net stock purchase? Every single day, there are money managers, some buying, some selling. But at this point right now, when I'm about to make an informed decision, the robot will take a snapshot, ding, and the robot will tell me what is the net position of all money managers, those who bought versus those who sold. And if we have like a net positive 2.6 billion, that means more investors believe in the stock price going up versus as opposed to less investors believing the stock price will go down. That's why you have a net positive. I'm going to show you some other tricks that we have right here. And of course, this is a really, really beautiful stuff. We have developed and evolved our what we call the way we look at hidden gems through iteration with our customers, through what the robot is telling us on an AI basis, and so on. So we have net positive purchase. You have universe net stock purchase pivoting bearish to bullish between previous quarter versus current quarter. And then, of course, you have top 100 stock purchase pivoting bearish to bullish. Now this pivot is really important in present times because there's a shift from a high inflation environment, high interest rate environment coming down to a low inflation environment and perhaps looking at interest rate cuts. And that's why to identify the pivot is really critical. So in today's demonstration, I'm going to show you, I really love this top 100 purchase pivoting bearish to bullish, because the top 100, they are the guys. I mean, we are looking really at folks like Citadel, Kenneth Griffin, and Warren Buffett, and Millennium Traders. These guys really have their hands and legs in the market. They know something is about to happen. So I'm going to select this very important indicator to us, top 100, pivoting bearish to bullish. I can click on it. Ding! And let the system run, all right? So the system is running right now. It's going to kind of, out of the many stocks, kind of give us a flavor. And, you know, I'm really looking at the real big numbers. Like this one is 458 million, pivoting 310%. Now this is huge. The second one is only like $62 million, but pivoting 1,200%. The third one is like $189 million, pivoting 358%. Now between these three, typically I'll go for the larger dollar value, right? So this is the one that comes with the larger dollar value, and the company is called Charles Schwab. Let me click on it. Boom. And here we go. We have Charles Schwab right in front of us. And I'm going to present to you our 4-step methodology for us to go about analyzing a company, all right? So I'm going to type it right here. It's called a fiat method. Now, fiat essentially represents right over here. Step 1, fundamental. Step 2, insider. Step 3, alerts. And step 4, technical. Together, they form the 4-letter word FIAT, which we call the fiat method. So right now, we are at step 1. And really, we are really interested in the 3 key metrics right here. We are tracking not just the universe net stock purchase, we also track the net top 100 purchase, which is pivoting bearish to bullish. And we also track the universe net call put purchase, pivoting bullish to bearish, 260%. But for today's demonstration, we are really interested in how the top 100 will lead the pack in the marketplace. All right, so I'm really interested in this metric, pivoting bearish to bullish. $458 million net purchase from the top 100. I'm going to go to my step 2 right now, right here, click on it. And what is step 2 insider analysis about? It's telling us who are the ones buying the stock and who are the ones selling the stock. So right now we are looking at Q2 quarter 2, but the data is not completed yet, all right? Because for quarter 2, the last day of the quarter is June, and you have to add another 45 days, so the complete data will be in the middle of August. So right now, we are still in the middle of July. We are not looking at the full data yet. So I'm going to switch right here and click on Show Filter, and direct us to look at the complete quarter, which is Q1. I want to look at the complete data, all right? So this is Q1 right now, and here we go. Q1, $8.1 billion went into this stock. And this is contributed by who? This is really contributed by money managers who believe in it, all right? So let me switch over here. The money managers is from right here, 1,046 of them, all right? So I'm going to give you a flavor of how this happens right across here. And here we go. I'm going to take this column, and we're just going to run through it. It's really fascinating stuff, how we go about looking at a column and looking at the dollar value on the right-hand side, all right? So the lead investor, the concept of a lead investor is every quarter somebody will take the lead. And it's defined by the guy who puts in the most money. So for quarter 1, the guy who puts in the most money, D.E. Shaw, $541 million. And the interesting thing is, he has increased his bets by 200% more, quarter 4 versus quarter 1. So the question we always need to ask is the difference in terms of time span between quarter 4 versus quarter 1 is just 3 months apart. What has fundamentally changed in the company that caused D.E. Shaw to increase his bet by 200%, which represents a dollar value of $541 million, right? So you have one guy right here, 200%. You have another guy right here, 2 Sigma, 362%, putting in $296 million. Another guy right here, UBS, 247%, $195 million. Millennium Traders put in 160% more, $189 million. And another 2 Sigma, related company, increased the bet 2,095%. That's 20x, putting in 189 million. So if you add these 2 related companies, 189 plus 296, that's 3-4, kind of coming close to becoming a lead investor. So I'm going to scroll down and give you a flavor. You get to see exactly who is investing alongside with you, if you do consider to take part together with them in Charles Schwab. So all these are shown right here on the left. I mean, we got really big names like American Century Company, Schroeder. We even have pension funds, retirement funds, and so on, right? Renaissance also took part in it, and so on. Every single one of them, we strip them naked right here, including the retirement funds. Very good. So I'm really excited. I got a feel already. The feeling is I'm trading alongside with these giants. So now I'm going to come over right here and tap on top 100. So I tap on top 100 and here we go. Top 100, and really what is important is right here, all right? Let me just scroll up. Here we go. This is representing a net purchase of $458.8 million. Now this is really gorgeous. This is the metric that got me excited about Charles Schwab to begin with. So there must be a catalyst or a trigger or something that trigger or motivate us to look at a particular company. And this is what the software does. There are many ways to manipulate the data, right? So for today's demonstration, I'm really interested in the top 100 leading the pack, and I want to see why they are so crazy about Charles Schwab. So I present to you on the left those who bought versus on the right those who sold. And it's a really very fair representation. Of course, not all the top 100 money managers going to participate in Charles Schwab. These are the key guys who taken time, completed their due diligence, and put money into the stock. So I got really excited, but when I look over here, this is like sorted in descending order. 541 million, 189 million from Millennium, 189 from 2 Sigma, 132 for Eminence, 132 from Yakman, 103 Citadel, 51 Renaissance, 42 Shortfield, 35.9 million Fisher Asset Management. And those who dump the stocks, you can also likewise see on the right here. Typically when they sell, there are many reasons for selling. Perhaps to take profits, perhaps for portfolio balancing, but when they buy, there's only one reason, all right? So I'm really happy with top 100. Now I'm going to go to shareholders list. Click on it. For the shareholders list, again, we present to you starting from shareholder number 1. I mean, for Charles Schwab, we have like 1,822 of them presented really nice. And I really want to just focus right here. Existing shareholders, are they increasing or decreasing their money management on Charles Schwab? So I just have a good feel and I say, okay, I spotted Sovereign Wealth Fund increasing the bet by 13.82%. That's a good sign. And we have the D.E. Shaw, the lead investor, increasing by 200% and so on. So far, so good. I'm really happy with the process. I go to step 3 right now. Now, for step 3, this is really important because we present it in a timeline vertical fashion. Look on the left right here, starting from today, and we look now on a vertical timeline in this way, all right? So of course, we were playing this company on Monday, And again, all the data are kind of coming in. You have Vanguard putting in $97.5 million and so on. And of course, news mentioned. These are all the different news featuring on Charles Schwab. Really, really organized, and you can just kind of have a few of the headlines and then select the articles that you want to read to further your research on this particular company. All right, so let me just go down right here, and these are the ones that bought through and the information reflected on 10th of July. These are the ones that sold off. So you can just click moving backwards to kind of reverse engineer the process, all right? So we get to see the president sold off some shares, Atlantic Trust put in $24.5 million, and right over here, these are your internal board of directors exercising their stock options, all right? Really important stuff. Just have a flavor, take a look, who's buying, who's selling, and just keep going down. Now, as you go down, you will realize that, hey, what does these three boxes here represent, right? It represents that from the point of entry that they took a position, did the portfolio move up? It actually moved up by 15.99%. So far, so good, all right? So I go through this process. I'm happy with it. And I move all the way to the top. I'm ready to go into step 4. And of course, the more time that you spend on this due diligence process, the better you get to know about the company. Step 4 is technical analysis. I'm going to click on View Full Chart, click on it. And I stretch my window. I get to see in clear sight what is happening right now, right? So every red box represents the quarter. And we get to see the net purchase positive 1.8, positive 1.9, positive 671 million, and positive $900 million in Q3, Q4, positive 17 billion, and then Q1, there's a drop. Now that Q1, there's a drop for all banks related stocks because there was a bank run, all right? So there was a sell-off of 7.3 billion. Now we are making our decision right here in this box, okay? And it's like just completed in the end of June. We have to decide whether in this box, is it a movement up or a movement down? I believe you can see the candles right there is kind of a moving up. So I believe this box, when we have the full data in, it will be showing a net positive purchase, all right? And obviously, I'm really encouraged by the top 100. They are taking the lead. And that's the reason why when they put in money right here, how we go about understanding it is like this. They invested in Q1. Now, the net positive purchase is large, led by many lead investors. So they probably bought around all these candles shown around here, right? So today, on Monday, when we're about to make a trading decision, we are buying around the same price as them. So that's good. We are trading alongside with them. So I completed the 4-step fiat method, and you decide right now, would you invest into this stock or not, all right? So I'm going to show you the result in a short while, because at the end of the analysis, it's very, very important we take action or not. We are just wasting time. So I'm going to show you what we've done right over here. And this is like sending out to my Twitter followers. We did a quick analysis about Charles Schwab. And kind of scroll down. We look at certain key metrics. This was the one that I shown you just now. And then how we go about firing off the trade, and many of them need help. Like I bought 200 shares at a price of 58.88 per share, right? And the very next day, the stock price spiked up. By how much? 4.54%. Now, I'm going to show you the visual representation of that. So there you go. This is the stock chart. And the very next day, the stock price spike up right here. This is the spike. How big is the spike? And this is the one that's really, really exciting. It spiked up by 12.57%. That's a big spike. We caught the spike, all right? So when we caught the spike, we go back right here to our Twitter, and we told them, hey, time to sell, and we applied this really, really important tool called the trail limit, and the trail limit will kind of help us maximize our profit as well as defend our our reserve price. Kind of a little bit complicated, but I can share with you more about this. So, and trail limit got kicked in. So this is the whole genealogy. We bought Charles Schwab on Monday, represented, by the way, the time shown here is in Singapore time. So on Monday, that will be like 2:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we got out on the Tuesday, right here. After the opening bell before the opening bell, we got out before the opening bell at 9:12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, because we have the ability to trade pre-market. All right, so buy 58.88, sell 62.17, and that represents a profit of 5.5% in just one day. So I'm really, really excited to share with you this whole evolution of how we built spiking for one mission. How can we help retail investors out there make better decisions and trade competitively with the institutional money managers out there that are proven successful over time? So you can see the entire interface is very humanized, very easy to understand, and thereby helping you and I and everyone else out there to make an informed decision. I hope you liked today's presentation. Please give me your feedback, and if you have any ideas, any tips that you want to share that can improve our system, let me know. I'm more than happy to guide you along in this journey. With that in mind, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.